In January of 2020, I attended the March for Life in Washington, D.C. with my sister in our university's pro-life club. Little did I know that later that year, just after my 19th birthday, I would find myself in an unplanned pregnancy. Growing up in a conservative Catholic home, I had always been pro-life. However, being pregnant myself shook me. The issue became so much more than a Saturday morning volunteering at a pregnancy center or a quick prayer in the car when passing Planned Parenthood. Unfortunately, when I first found out I was pregnant, my mind was set on getting an abortion. I was blinded by guilt and shame, and the weight of my sin was heavy. I was 2 exits away from the abortion clinic and taking the first pill of a chemical abortion when a phone call of desperation completely changed my heart and my life. The call was from one of my best friends and my sister, who reminded me of the value and dignity of the life inside of me and the atrocity of abortion. They reminded me of the values that our pro-life club had instilled in us that year and of the immense support we would have from everyone around us. Thanks be to God, I turned the car around and chose life for my daughter.
We're going to listen now to just a few examples of meetings in hospitals that patient advocates here at Texas Right to Life have been in, where quality of life determinations are being used as reasons to remove decision-making power from surrogates and families and in the lives of hospitalized patients.
He doesn't have a great quality of life.
We typically only do that in somebody who has a brother who's going to have, some quality of life. Here, like Dr. Zani said, that's not going to happen.
And that the quality of life is absent.
And she doesn't have a life because the quality of life that she has is horrible.
At the end of the day, is he going to recover enough to have a meaningful quality of life?
Each year, you serve about an average of 65 patients through the patient advocacy team. These are 65 families who would be without a light in their darkest days if Texas Right to Life was not here. You all make the difference.
As Johnny said, my name is Teresa Doyle, and I have had the honor of working for Texas Right to Life for the past 22 years. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 warns us, "Your enemy, the devil, prowls around you like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." But Romans chapter 16, verse 20 reminds us that the God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet, and the grace of our Lord Jesus will be with you. We find peace in knowing that God is on our side in this battle, and we will not back down from doing the Lord's work and saving his innocent children.
I've had a lot of my friends ask me, well, what's going on with the pro-life movement now? What is the next chapter? And my answer to them is this: Goliath just hit the ground. What did David do? This is a quiz. What did David do after Goliath hit the ground? He cut his head off. Now that didn't make the child's Bible, the child's version of the Bible. But it's true. Goliath hits the ground, and it's not over. What happened after David actually defeated Goliath? The Philistines started running away. And what did the Israelites do? Throw a party? No, they chased after them. Even though Goliath was knocked down, the war was not over. And it is true for us as well. You see, the enemy retreated and they tried to gain higher ground. They tried to hide, to fight another day, another battle on their own terms. Remember, Goliath is the one that set the terms for the first battle, and he lost. But they retreated to live another day to fight. It is true for us as well. We are at a critical moment where Goliath has just hit the ground. The deadliest Supreme Court ruling in our nation's history has officially been overturned, but the enemy is not ready to give up. So I do want to highlight 3 priorities just to show you the type of thinking going on in Texas Right to Life's offices. Our first priority is enforcement. We actually need to enforce our pro-life laws and hold the abortion industry accountable. You all know that just because abortion is illegal, that doesn't mean that Texas is abortion-free, okay? We already have major Texas cities passing resolutions that direct their law enforcement to ignore any reports of illegal abortions. We also have lawless district attorneys around Texas who have publicly declared their intent not to enforce life-saving pro-life laws, even if they have evidence that a doctor broke those laws. But we don't just want an abortion-free Texas, a Texas Right to Life. I know everyone in here, we don't just want to stop abortion. We actually want to create a pro-life state. And so what we're working on, So the Building a Pro-Life Texas agenda includes things like reforming our adoption and CPS law. It includes removing barriers for pregnant and parenting students. Another issue that we have always fought for in the Texas State Legislature, which you've heard about before, is the Alternatives to Abortion program. This program is a statewide network of nonprofit pregnancy centers, maternity homes, adoption agencies. And these providers help women choose life and thrive. And you've already heard about our third legislative priority from Emily Cook, that we are still dedicated, even in this post-Roe world, to protecting vulnerable patients. Patients like Tinsley Lewis. Texas is one of the worst when it comes to being pro-life, when it comes to vulnerable patients. We want to repeal the anti-life 10-day rule, and Texas is in dire need of some truly life-affirming laws that make sure patients can continue to receive their life-sustaining treatment while they and their loved ones help transfer them to a different care environment, like you heard from Emily. We're gonna keep on representing and helping those vulnerable patients and their families. We are not backing down because the Lord has called us to this work. And personally, He's confirmed to me that we are exactly where He wants us to be. So we're gonna faithfully obey His call and rest assured that He is in control. He is good. And this ultimately is His battle for life. I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm honored that you're gonna partner with us in this next chapter. It is a great time to celebrate what the Lord has already done and to realize what He's calling us to. So thank you for joining me this evening.